What is up, guys? Today it's my review of Endgame. I did not do one of these for Infinity War. A lot of stuff was happening around Infinity War, but oh my god, this has spoilers, by the way. I'm very shocked. I saw it last night with a friend and I fell in love with it. I think it topped Iron Man 1, and a lot of people say anything can't beat Iron Man 1, but I think it did kind of beat Iron Man 1 because it was big and it wasn't like mind-blowing, because I knew half of the stuff that was about to happen. Oh crap, I'm in a mission. Shoot. I'm gonna put Infinity War. Oh shoot, someone's in here. Hold on. Let me pause this for you guys and let me pull up my stream, my phone. And if it's someone asks me to play, sorry. My phone thing, so I'm gonna turn it down. I just have comments off. And if it's asking, oh, yes, it was. If you're still in here, I don't know if you are. Leave a like too, by the way. Surprise! Appreciate it. But it was very, very intense. It was like when I was in Infinity War, bro. It just didn't feel like a 2 hour. How long was it? 2 hours, I think. It didn't feel like that. It just felt like. It didn't feel like a 3 hour movie. It just felt like sitting through and just waiting to see what happens, because I think a lot of people expected people to die, and I was one of them. I didn't expect like Iron Man to die, but yeah. But what happened in this movie was that they didn't fix it at the beginning. It took them 5 years to fix.
You're done.
Same because Ant-Man got found by a rat, and Tony Stark had a family. He had a daughter named Morgan. Oh, also it opened up as Hawkeye's family died. And I was like, what the frick? That's how you gonna open up this movie? And a lot of people probably wanted to know what happened to Hawkeye and why he's becoming Ronin. And I kind of figured that out, because it's like, yeah, probably he became Ronin because of his family dying or something. And I was like, okay. And it was very weird to have half of that, like, stuff to happen. Like, I didn't even expect Thanos to be in it after what happened, but what happens was they make a plan to go defeat Thanos after Captain Marvel saves Tony and Nebula from the ship. And what happens is they get there, Captain Marvel beats the shit out of freaking Thanos, and then they all come out of this house and just beat the living crap out of him. The Hulkbuster's there, War Machine, all of them are there. And I'm like, what the frick? And then freaking, guess what? Thor decides to cut off his arm with Stormbreaker, and then cuts off his head. And he says, I aimed for the head, and then they screwed up because the Infinity Stones were gone. So they couldn't really do anything, and it's been 5 years after Ant-Man comes with the quantum tech from after Ant-Man and Wasp, and that was pretty interesting. I didn't really expect him. Actually, half of the stuff was ripped off Back to the Future too. It was one of the things that was said was it was like Back to the Future reference. There's like Back to the Future references in too. But yeah, I'm not gonna really explain that. But it was, they come with the quantum tech, and at first Tony don't want to do it because he just becomes like Iron Man 1. I've seen a lot of people say that in their reviews, is like he becomes Iron Man 1, and I didn't recently watch it for the first time, but I just, like, I had like a thing, like I watched the most important ones I need to watch. I watched Guardians 1, Captain America, the first Avenger, and Age of Ultron. I've watched practically all like their movies, the ones with like Infinity Stones and stuff. So yeah, but he became like the Tony Stark from Iron Man 1 was, he didn't really care about other people, he just cared about how he was going to protect his family and himself. And that's what happens because he just don't want to deal with Thanos no more. Thanos did what he wanted to do was in the world. And that's what he didn't really want it in the world. He wanted to freaking end it by time travel thing was,
well, you've got a red suit, so you're close enough to Santa Claus for me. Thanks.
The thing he wanted to do was actually wipe out the universe. Like the second version wanted to wipe out the universe, and that was his past self in 2014. But they came up with a plan to go back in time after Stark decides to help him, and that is to get all the Infinity Stones. And they came up with a plan, blah blah, and they get Hulk actually. And Hulk is smart Hulk, I guess you could say, because that's what he was supposed to be. I would actually like a gray version than a green version, but yeah. But they come up with it, like that plan, and they go back in time and they decide, oh, if you really think about it, there's 3 stones in New York at the same time. So yeah, and it was pretty nice to see like all the main Avengers and Ant-Man. I think it had been cool if they put Ant-Man in the first Avengers, but I get why they didn't. But it would have been cool, but yeah. Captain Marvel does not have a lot of screen time in this movie. It literally just is at the beginning and at the end. Like, that's like her screen time is like at the beginning and they probably cut it after seeing the reviews of freaking Captain Marvel. And I didn't really give 2 shits about Captain Marvel. I don't really care about it. Like, I'll probably buy it on Blu-ray, or I might just buy it on DVD for cheaper. Like, we have a thing over here where I live. But yeah, it was very interesting what they decided to do with. But yeah, so they all come in at 3. I don't remember the teams, and the only ones I remember was Hulk, Captain America, Ant-Man, and Iron Man at the same time. And they go back to the Battle of New York, and Hulk goes get the Time Stone from the Ancient One, and I'm surprised she was in this movie. They get her, and she decides to like do the thing like she does to Doctor Strange at the beginning, is like whatever, like put him in like a mirror dimension thing. Also, we never get to see Bruce Banner until the Ghost form, so yeah, it's just all Hulk. It is flat out all Hulk. And they go to the Battle of New York after they get Loki. Like, well, it's in the main fight, like around the end when Iron Man puts the rocket into space. And what happens is they get him, and they do the same thing. All the people from Winter Soldier are in this movie, and if you want to know something, Winter Soldier is one of my favorite movies, and one of them. But they all make a role in it, and what happens is the future Captain America gets the staff with, I think, the Mind Stone. I don't know all the stones, because there's like 6, I think. I just know there's reality, whatever time stone and stuff. They like, yeah. But they get the Loki staff, and what he does is like we're gonna see the elevator scene from Winter Soldier, but no, it's actually he tells them he needs the staff, and they said we cannot do that, and he just says Hell Hydra, and that was kind of mind blowing for a sec there. It kind of took me a second to put that in my mind, but yeah. That was pretty big, and Tony and Ant-Man decided to make Iron Man have a heart attack, and because he still had the arc reactor in him in Avengers. And what happens is they get the time stone from the cube from him, and the cube gets knocked by Hulk because he had to take stairs, and the cube lands in the hands of Loki. And I did kind of make this prediction after the movie theaters. I said, I think Loki's gonna be still alive because he took the time stone and disappeared, and we don't see anything after that, because how they get the stone again is they go back in time. Him and Tony and Captain America go back in time for the stone when Shield still had it, and Tony meets his father, and when he's like young, about to have Tony, and then Captain America sees Peggy, and this is something that's about to come up in the later film. And then what Captain America does is called Hate Him, and this was a pretty cool Easter egg. It shows my like Siri just turned off. And what they decided to do is shoot. They call him and they get the key. Well, what was this? Oh, they get more pin particles to go back in time. They go back to the reality. So they did that, and they got the stone, and Tony has a talk with his dad. And yeah, have a big talk. And it wasn't like a main talk. And they go back in time, and then we have the Black Widow, Hawkeye, and War Machine and Nebula side, and they went to space for the reality. Not the reality. That's what they go for. Wait, that's what Thor and Rocket go for. Okay, I'm gonna talk about Rockets and Thor's. They
Officers respond.
go for the reality. That was in Thor Dark World.
Over.
And they go for that one. And it wasn't like a big, like, Thor. Because I could never sit through the original Thor movies. I just never could, but I know what happens in them because I just watch like smaller videos describing what happens in them. But they get the thing from Jane Foster, the stone, because it's in her.
Location is Cathedral.
But Thor has a talk with his mom, and about about how he's changing. And also, Thor is a like hippie kind-ish dude that just like goes to parties and just drinks beer, and he's all fat. I don't really know any, like, he would be like in a geek club if he wasn't. But he gets Mjolnir back, and I'm pretty surprised. I don't know how, because I know it's not supposed to reality this timeline, but they get the stone from Jane Foster, and he takes more now. It has like, there was only like really one near, really.
Report came in from Lenox Hill.
But it ends up to their path. But what they do is they get that, and that wasn't really interesting. It was just to say we got Mjolnir the stone. It was really nothing important. Well, Nebula, Roll, Hawkeye, Black Widow, and War Machine go to space to get the purple one and the Soul Stone. Black Widow and Hawkeye go to the Soul one, and Nebula and War Machine get the purple one. I don't know what that one's called. They get it. I can't really, if I remember these names and stuff, I'll get them confused with other ones. So I don't really know. Like I'm a flat out nerd, and I just don't really care about the stones. But I'm just gonna say Nebula and Machine go get it from Star-Lord, and War Machine references a thing from Indiana Jones, the first one, and that's about like there's supposed to be booby traps and stuff in the movies. Well, they get the stone, and on Thanos' ship, we see Squidward again, and he is Gamora and her training, and Nebula's unplug. Past self has a memory of her, like, I don't know, like the future self, and Thanos sees it and decide to have a like little fight. Nebula shows to her dad, because Nebula's always had daddy issues with Thanos. I wonder if actually Nebula's actually his real daughter. That has never been cleared up.
Garvey Park Garrison, this is Control. What's your status? Demons firing on our position. Need backup.
Decide to beat up on Nebula and go back to the future, back to the past. And Black Widow and Hawkeye, they get to the Soul Stone. We figured out actually who Black Widow's dad, I can't say her name, and she didn't know who her dad was, and that's one reason why they're kind of freaked out about this. And it was like very intense at that moment, and we had the practically first death of the movie, because if you don't know, the Soul Stone, how you get it is you have to give up a loved one, and them two were like big friends before the Avengers or anything else. Like they reference a thing they had in Avengers in this, when they get into the ship, is their mission they had. And yeah, hold on, I gotta take a drink. But I have a big discussion, and Clint wants to sacrifice himself. Well, Natasha, Black Widow don't want that. They have a big fight like they did in Civil War. Is like have a big fight like they do, and they said, are we still friends, blah blah blah, and they fight, and Black Widow falls off the cliff because she lets go, and he gets a Soul Stone. Well, they all go back in time, and Nebula is the one that works with Thanos, and she Well, they make a Iron Man like fist gauntlet, and what they do is they decide to reverse the snap. And I don't know the first, yeah, the first one does work. And they decide to, hold on, I gotta think. They reverse snap, and Nebula brings in Thanos and him, and they reverse snap, but Hulk is the one who has to reverse the snap. And he survived from it like Thanos did. He blew up the stones because they have no real purpose after they're done with it. And what he does is he reverses the snap, and the Avengers HQ blows up by Thanos' thing. Half of them underground. Hulk is holding rubble for War Machine, Rocket, and Ant-Man was still up there. Hawkeye is way down like in a sewer system with the glove, and Thanos' army decides to chase him through it. And Iron Man, Thor, and Iron Man decide to fight Thanos, the past Thanos, 2014 Thanos. Have a big fight, and this was very shocking to me. You like the scene from where Thor was pushing Stormbreaker into Thanos. Well, Thanos does the same thing to Thor. Well, Thor still has Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. Well, Stormbreaker he can't get, and Mjolnir won't come to him. I don't know why. But you see Mjolnir get picked up, and guess who picks it up? Oh my god, Captain America picked it up. I was freaking out because I was so excited this when Age of Ultron came out. When it had that skirt, like the skirt, the noise it made, it went skirt. I thought that would probably become a meme. But it was skirt. And, yeah. Thor says, I know you've always been nervy. And they, Captain America starts kicking ass with it. He is hitting blows on Thanos. When Thanos pins him, breaks Captain America's shield like in the Infinity War comics. Iron Man is knocked out, and Thanos' army decides to come down, and you hear on Sam's. I couldn't really hear it as well because like everyone was like, yeah, yeah. I was like, I cannot hear this, but I was watching a video that said on your left, like they did in Winter Soldier. It's like on your left, and a portal opens, and I see him fly through it. I saw a freaking Falcon fly through it. I was like, oh my god. And then half of them come out. Like, it comes out Spider-Man, Mantis, Star-Lord, Drax, Spider-Man. So did I say Spider-Man twice? I probably did. Valkyrie, all Asgard's people, Wasp, well, everyone who got snapped, Black Panther, Shuri, Takaka, I don't know her name, the girl who plays Michonne on The Walking Dead, she comes. And Wakanda, they start doing the chant from, Infinity War, Eon Bay, and they come, and they fight. And that was a big scene, and I was pretty shocked they did it. They had planes, Ant-Man saves War Machine, Hulk, and all of them, they have a big fight, and Captain America starts kicking ass with it. Iron Man is still knocked out. Also, Pepper Potts has her thing. A lot of people knew that because they had a set photo of her in it. And Iron Man wakes up and he hugs Spider-Man like they didn't like Spider-Man Homecoming, like it's not a hug just yet. And I did actually reference that scene from like when Tony hugs his dad. I was like, we're not there yet. I was just hoping he was gonna say that. But no, that didn't work. It's on mic. Okay, thank God. I was like, if I'm talking and how long this is, I gotta redo it. But it was like, that scene was dope. And they have to get the stones, like in a safe place. Well, Nebula and Gamora, the future Nebula, decides to kill the past Nebula. And they save reality. And what happens is Captain Marvel comes in and wipes out Thanos' army with this ship. She went right through it. And they freaking have a battle. All the females gaze up and they fight. And Star-Lord had a moment with Gamora from 2014. He kicks some of the balls and he says, "You missed the first time." And Spider-Man, Black Panther gets the stone and the gauntlet, and then Spider-Man gets it, and then he kicks on instant kill, start killing the Shatari and stuff. And what they decide to do is they couldn't stop him, so they had to get the van with the whatever, because they didn't have any more to get him back. So what they decide to do is to get him to the van. So what happens is Thanos gets the glove. He puts it on. Iron Man stops him. Takes all the Infinity Stones. Thanos snaps his fingers, and you see Iron Man with his fist out, with all the stones on his arm, and he snaps all Thanos' army away. He snaps his fingers, and he couldn't hold it. And because if you don't know, there's certain people that can hold the gauntlet and handle the snap. Well, Iron Man wasn't one of them, and he died. He died with Spider-Man and Pepper wishing him a goodbye. And they have a funeral for him. The funeral has his daughter. They make a reference that from... Oh yeah, and they have funeral. They have the Tony heart, the prove that Tony has a heart thing from Iron Man 1 or Iron Man 2. And it shows all the Avengers. And it has the kid from Iron Man 3. And I did not expect him to be in this movie. And I was like me and my friend was freaking out. I was like, who is that? And I said, it kind of looks like Quicksilver. And I couldn't really tell, but it was the kid from Iron Man 3. A lot of people told me that. I did kind of figure that out when I was in the car. I was like, that could have been the kid from Iron Man 3. And then Captain America returns the stones, but he decides to go back for Carrie. Kelly Peel, the girl that he was in World War II with him. I can't say her name. I don't know why I can't say it, but he goes back for her and gives her a dance, and he comes back as old Captain America. I don't think he's gonna keep doing this, but yeah, he did kind of say he was done with the character, and he gives the shield to Falcon. And that was a surprise, because a lot of people, expectedly me, thought it would have been Bucky. I didn't really expect it to be Falcon, because like his comics just started practically as Captain America, so I thought it had been Bucky. I think it would have been cool if it was Bucky, and I think it should have been Bucky, but that's just me. And Thor decides to have his own little ventures with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think they're going to have to try to find Gamora. If that happens, they could find Black Widow. A lot of people already expect this. They're in the Soul Stone like Gamora was. But yeah. Also, Captain America did say his famous line, Avengers Assemble. I'm trying to think of some stuff in this. What's also Happy tells Morgan that he goes, "Are you hungry, kid?" She's like, "Yeah." He goes, "What do you want?" He goes, "Cheeseburger." He says, "Your dad likes cheeseburgers." And if you don't know that, in Iron Man 1, before he came back to America, he asked for Burger King cheeseburgers. I thought that was pretty neat. There's a lot of stuff. I do recommend going see the movie. I could never give a movie a 10 out of 10 unless it was like something like a superhero movie. I've never got 10, probably as a kid, but when I rewatch it at my age now, yeah, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. It gave all the characters the respect they wanted. I don't know if there was a second credit scene. I didn't stay for it. I did like Stan Lee's cameo. I thought Spider-Man from Home was his last cameo. A lot of people are saying it is. But yeah, I was surprised they didn't do the thing like they did for Captain Marvel, was the credit scenes. So yeah. Well, I hope you guys like this video. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. A lot of stop motions are coming up soon. Just has been taking for long. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Bye.